Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back for another Total War video with the Terminator. And today I'm playing the first 10 turns of Divide Et Impera as Epirus. That's right, I'm going to be Pyrrhus in DEI and I'm going to square off with the Romans and other Greek factions and see what I can do. But yeah, so in this video I'm going to show you my recommendations essentially to how you can succeed as Epirus in your first 10 to 12 turns, essentially, depending on how things go and what the AI does. So as Epirus, we have a few things to keep in mind. We have a major diplomatic penalty with Hellenic factions, increased wealth from towns and public order from being a Hellenic culture, which is cool. Some nice positive things. And we're going to be playing on normal, so make sure you're on normal for DEI, remember. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting campaign, guys. Epirus is probably one of the most toughest starts in DEI. A lot of people struggle with the beginning of a campaign with Epirus. So hopefully with this video, I can inform you a bit about how to play it, give you some recommendations that, you know, hopefully help you. And I hope you enjoy it. You know, it's a hard start. So it's going to be an interesting campaign. If you do, guys, give it a like, give the video a like, and drop any thoughts or questions at all in the comments section below. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have, make any recommendations to you personally as well, and let me know what factions you want to see in this series as well. So I've done Rome so far in the first video, and this is going to be Epirus. So let's get started. All right, guys, so this is turn 1 as Epirus, and these are going to be the beginnings of my recommendations to you. So as Epirus, you have a bit of a choice. You can either expand out into Italy, take the fight to Rome head on before they get too big and aggressive, or you can consolidate your province here in Apollonia, this province, I think it's Macedonia, yep, by taking out Larissa and Pella. Or, I mean, if you wanted to, you could go even down south here to Athens and Sparta as well. But my recommendation here, guys, is going to be to consolidate your province. You know, you can absolutely go aggressive against Rome if you want to. And that is the very aggressive play here. But Rome is difficult. And I promise you, you're not going to have an easy time versus just securing this province here, having a really, really nice kind of consolidated area in Greece with a really, really good boost in income and the ability to create a number of armies that can really challenge Rome in Italy. So that's what I'm recommending here. So the first thing we're going to do is let's look at our buildings. We need to produce food. So we're going to get that fishing port. In Taurus, we need to be able to defend the city against any Roman siege. So we're going to build up our settlement building here. And actually, we're going to expand the city and get the muster field as well, because that's going to be an additional kind of garrison capability here with 3 more units. I'm also going to recruit a few units here as well in this army. We're going to get a couple of slingers, and yeah, we'll get a couple slingers for now, but we're going to get some hoplites as well. So that just FYI. And then in Apollonia, so we're going to upgrade the settlement building here as well. We're going to deploy the dignitary, and we're going to deploy the spy over here, and we're going to recruit some units in Apollonia as well. So we're going to get some shield pikemen. These guys are super good, guys. The bronze shield pikemen, they're so important at holding your front line while the rest of your units get around, you know, harass with their missiles, all that. Your cavalry get around them as well. These guys are probably the most OP unit you can have to hold that front line. So this is what you're going to recruit first. And then with this army, we're going to start moving down south to get towards Larissa. That's going to be the plan here. Technologically, again, I always go for civil first. You can go military, you know, if you want. But you have some decent units to hold the line against the enemy and destroy them pretty much. So I wouldn't worry about the military side of things too much just yet. You have a navy as well. And as with the first video with Rome, we're going to use this navy to expand out, find some new factions, befriend them, and get some trade agreements with this navy. So don't go up here. We've already met most of the factions up there on that side of the world. So we're going to go to the east here and try and meet Knossos, Pergamum, Rhodes, Lydia, Egypt, all these factions over here that have the potential to give you trade agreements. So before we look into diplomacy and get our trade agreements, I'm going to lower our tax level slightly. That's going to lower our income, but also it's going to start getting things into the positive in terms of public order. And that's really important. That's definitely something you want. And then we need to focus on diplomacy. So we've got the RDA to our north. We need to have a trade agreement with them. Absolutely. They're not really going to go for it without some money, guys. So you want to be able to commit some investment there. I'm also going to get a trade agreement with Macedon. Now, a number of you might be like, whoa, dude. You're going to declare war against these guys. What are you doing? Might have to get a trade agreement in a few turns. But the point is, guys, even if you have a trade agreement with a faction and you attack them, it's totally okay. Like, you're going to go down from reliable to trustworthy, but that goes back up pretty quickly. So I wouldn't worry about it. Athens. I'm not going to attack Athens in this playthrough. I'm going to go for Pella. So, again, as with anything, try and get a trade agreement here and there as much as you can. Get the Ligurians on our side in the future as well. But yeah, so that is the first turn, essentially, in a nutshell. You're recruiting, you're building some buildings to be able to defend Taris here, and buildings that will give you food as well. That's going to be important. So yeah, and this navy is going to meet some factions, and we're going to go for Larissa. That's going to be the plan here. So that's the end of our turn here, guys. I'll see you, yeah, I'll see you at the top of turn 2. All right, guys, so this is turn 4. I've skipped a few turns because, to be honest, they were a bit filler. There wasn't a lot happening. You're waiting for your buildings to build. You're recruiting some units in this army here. You're sending your navy east and meeting new factions, which we've done here. As you can see, we've met Rhodes. We've met Egypt, Lydia over here as well. And to be honest, the main kind of focus here is Larissa. That's what you're doing, all right? You're trying to consolidate this province to get that income and then attack Rome. So that's what we're focusing on here. And we're ready to attack. So we've got this army ready to attack. I'm going to get just one more unit here to help us attack the city. And we're going to do it. So we're going to go ahead and besiege the city. Now, obviously, it's DEI, guys. You have to really play the battle and win it on the ground. I wouldn't recommend auto-resolving. I'm going to auto-resolve just for this video because I don't want to go through loads of battles, make this like an hour-and-a-half long video. I want to make this a really consolidated guide for you to understand how to win as Epirus in your first 10 turns, right? So you're attacking Larissa here. You've got a great roster of just units, shieldsmen, elite units who can hold the front line, while you have other kind of melee flanking units and cavalry who can go around and harass the infantry and destroy them. You've got those missile units as well that can take them out at range. Focus those guys and on their missile units first. Take them out, absolutely. And then even these guys should be able to flank around and attack the force that's been pinned down by your shieldsmen and attack them from behind. So that's what I want you to do. Focus on that flanking ability of Epirus to hold that front line and flank around and attack them. So I'm going to auto-resolve it here, which is absolutely fine. Take the city, which we're going to occupy. I don't want the money. I need the public order. That's what you need to focus on early on in every DEI campaign, in my opinion. And with that, the Aetolians have been destroyed. So we've got Larissa. We're going to build up the city. Actually, you know what? We're going to build up the olive oil press, which will give us a bit more income. The province obviously is going through a public order issue as well, but it's not something that we can fight really. So I'm going to just bring down the tax level, income level a little bit as well to help combat that. We've got our income is still okay, and it will get better with more tax trade agreements, but that's what you want to be doing here. So we have Larissa, guys. That's the first step here. We've got Larissa, and our sights need to be squarely set on Pella to unite the province. So that's what we're going to do here. And that's pretty much the end of turn 4. Let's give these guys some skills. So I'm investing in these because this one will give you the Empire Maintenance skill, which is really important later on. And this will give you the War Cry, which is really good in battle as well. So that's what I'm doing here. Dignitary is all deployed. Yep. Oh, actually, he's got skills as well. Let's spend those points. I'm going to do it on these because of the tax rate focus, which is good. Buildings still being built. No worries there. And this navy is moving towards Egypt, which is, well, sorry, towards the Seleucids, which is fine as well. Very good. Yeah. All right. So, we've got the city. We don't have a lot of money, and ideally, you would have a bit more to spend to get some more units. So let's see what we can do here. Can we wrangle some money out of other factions?
I give you welcome.
All right, so Athens wants a trade agreement, and they're willing to give us some money. Nice. So we've got some money there. What about Lydia? Okay, Lydia's not going for it. No worries. What about Rhodes? All right, Rhodes gave us a trade agreement, which is great. Okay, so we have a bit of money, guys, that we can spend on some new units now as well. And I'm going to recommend you get some of those flanking infantry units here. And ideally, another one of these shield guys. That's going to be super important to hold that front line, especially against Macedon, because this is a big battle coming up, guys. Massive battle. But yeah, so with that, we've got some units recruiting. We've got some replenishment going on, and this is the end of our turn here. So we'll see what happens next. All right, guys. So it's turn 6 as Epirus. I've skipped over turn 5 because, to be honest, we were just waiting on units to be replenished and recruited. And this army now, the Griffin's Grace, is ready to strike at Pella. And that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to declare war. And yes, you are going to be breaking a trade agreement with them. But it's worth it. And what you're going to do is you're just going to continue the siege. You're not going to attack the city. What I want you to do is just stay on the outskirts of the city. Recruit a few more units. So I would recruit this guy. Very good pike infantry again. And just wait there. Because when you end the turn, they're going to attack you. And you can take them on in the open field. So that's what's going to happen there. In terms of everything else that's going on, your income's low. You know, public order is growing, which is good. You got a nice defensive position in Taris. This building is almost done, which will give you that garrison boost, which is good. The navy that we had over here, I've basically disbanded because we've essentially discovered the factions that we want to be discovering over there. So all good there. And we've got all the trade agreements that we need to have by this point as well. So the main focus is Pella. And you know what, guys? I'm going to show you how to win this battle really quickly because it's a tough battle to beat. You're very outnumbered. And let's get that going. So I'm going to end the turn here. All right. So as I said, we've got the Macedonian forces sallying forth outside the city to attack us. And it's a tough battle, guys. This is really tough. You're very heavily outnumbered. 5,000 300-ish men, 400-ish men over on their side versus about 4,000 men, give or take, here in your forces. So it's difficult. I mean, yeah, you won't be able to auto-resolve it. You need to fight it in the ground, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it a quick save just to be sure I don't F this up, essentially, because anything can happen. But we're going to fight this on the ground, and I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, guys, so this is a replay of the battle, and essentially the way I've set up here is the enemy is going to come from 3 ways, all right? We've got a few units coming from the water. We've got the main garrison force coming through the beach here, and we've got the main army coming along the beach from here, this direction. So there's a few things to consider, which is why I've set up the way I have. I've set up the pikemen in a frontline formation marching towards the garrison army here. which are all kind of caught off guard by the pikemen, moving quite quickly forward. The spearmen over there flanking around as well, and the cavalry on this side of the beach as well, moving forward pretty quickly to try and catch them all off guard. So that's essentially what I've done. This is how I've countered that garrison army, trying to surround them as much as possible and destroy them as quickly as possible, right? Let's get a closer look at this. So all those kind of very light citizen infantry, they're not going to have a chance against these pikemen. Absolutely not. And it's going to be easy, super easy to take them down really quickly. So that's what's happening there. Over here, I've got the missile units set up in the forest because the main force is going to come through here, you see. And I've got this kind of front line that's going to get filled up a bit more once they're done over there. That will keep them all in line, hopefully, with no issues, while the missile units come right round and cause some damage from behind. That's what's going to hopefully happen here in a minute, very soon. So yeah, that's how the battle is set up, essentially. And this is, in my opinion, how you can win. It's a very tough battle if you don't do something like this, if you don't have the tricks up your sleeve. But once this garrison army is taken out, which shouldn't take too long, it should only take a few minutes, you can focus the main force on the incoming main army from that side with the more elite units here. So on this side, I'm having a bit of trouble with this one very, very elite phalanx unit. I'm just going to use the second word here, the Agamatos, who are losing decisively, which is great, but it does take a few cavalry charges to break them finally. In terms of the main garrison, they're all starting to run away. As you can see, they're not having a very good time, having a very bad day against my pikemen over here, which is great. Good for me. So lots of them running. I've got the spearmen over on this side as well, who are containing this flank. Apologies for the stuttering, guys. OBS isn't having a good time with me today either. But yeah, so they're having a great time. Look at that. Epirians absolutely demolishing them. And they're retreating, you know? Look at that. They're retreating pretty damn heavily. Heavily, yeah. So they're retreating. Their kind of missile units are pretty much all that's left. Those C units that I talked about earlier, they're going to come into range as well and start causing some trouble. They're really good units to have, honestly, to just have on the beach just like this and start causing some trouble from the water. So a great little tactic from the AI to bring them up over on this side of things. But in terms of what's going on for me, all is really well. The bulk of the garrison, as you can see, pretty much absolutely demolished. Pretty much zero casualties from my side as well to do that. So really good stuff. At this point, I'm starting to move my pikemen back. There's no need to have them there. They can move back, form up the line in the front line here to prepare for the main assault that will come. And here comes the main assault. And let's get a closer look. Here they come. It's heavy cavalry units moving forward to... I mean, there's a lot of them too. There's like 200 horsemen here moving up to face me in the front line. And the last of the enemy get demolished here. So we're moving back pretty quickly. Missile units all ready to go here as well. So I'm just kind of forming up in terms of how I want my units to be placed. So I've got the cavalry over here. I might move some of these back here as well to counter these guys because they're going to land on the beach, obviously, and join the fight as I go out of range. So yeah, so these units are moving back. I'm going to just fast forward a little bit because this is a kind of a filler moment in terms of what's happening. Got the main force moving up very slowly, and these guys going to just come onto the beaches slowly as well as my forces move back. But the main mistake I made here was not clocking this cavalry unit moving up against the missile units. It's silly, you know, it's silly that enemy cav can just spot a hiding unit in the forest. But it's all good. So this cav unit charges at my missile units here. and they take a lot of casualties, and they start breaking, which is really good for me. In the meantime, they have begun kind of moving up the beach here from the ships, apart from this one Marine unit. For some reason, he just sticks to the sea, which is a bit weird. But the main force is here. So, garrison army defeated. Look at all those bodies. Oof. And the main force is now moving up. So they're moving up, interestingly, with the bulk of their heavy elite units on the right side here, which is all well and good. But it's a good place to be because I've left the right flank for me a bit more open than I normally would have mistakenly. But that's all good. So I'm starting to I'm recognizing that I'm starting to reinforce that side a bit more with some more spearmen. Getting the cavalry up to move up against the archers that are starting to hit my back lines and the infantry back here as well. I've lost one missile unit, unfortunately. But I've got the general reinforcing this side as well. So it's all about, you know, what's coming next. Let's fast forward a little bit here as well. So we're moving up, taking out this unit here a little bit. It's a bit dangerous, though. Unfortunately, I kind of committed these guys a little bit too early. And they start taking some heavy casualties. So I need to move them back. In the meantime, I'm starting to commit a few more forces on this side. Moving this spearman unit back here. Getting this infantry unit, the light melee infantry over here as well that can flank around. And then I'm starting to commit I'm going to commit the missile units back here as well. So I'm just going to try and flank them around and start attacking the infantry units that are going straight into the front line. But the main worry really is their general. They have 200 armored horsemen barreling down towards my front line. So it's kind of worrying. So yeah, I'm basically trying to box them into the front line here while I get my units round the back and flank around, as I said. So let's fast forward a little bit here as well. General kind of like running around a little bit here and there. I've got my general attacking their light missile infantry, which is all good. Getting my spearmen committed on this this flank as well, which works for the most part. But the main worry is this side. So they've committed a lot of infantry. I've unfortunately gotten flanked a little bit on this side as well. And this unit is starting to lose a lot of morale, which is really, really bad. I should have actually moved them back a little bit, reset, but I didn't do that mistakenly. Always do that, guys. And then I committed this cavalry a little bit. This is basically a video, a battle of how not to fight this battle a little bit. But no, so the garrison army is defeated. We need to get these missile units around and start really, really causing some damage. They've committed their general on this side a little bit. And I'm making some really good gains on this flank as well, which is really good. The missile units are opening fire now against the backs of these heavy, heavy phalanx units. So really good stuff on that side happening. So we're going to keep an eye on that side. But over here, I've got a unit now breaking, which is really, really not good. I've got this one unit that's cornered between the general and this unit here as well, the light infantry. And, you know, this missile unit just firing away from this side, and it's just not super ideal. Yeah, so let's fast forward a little bit here. They start moving up this missile cav unit towards me, and I clock that, so I'm going to take them out pretty quickly. They've got some breaking units here on the front line as well, which is really good. And I've got some very, very nice flanking going on this side from my part. Kudos to me. Well done, Gem. Or the Terminator. Gem is my real name, by the way. So yeah, the Terminator. The real worry is this side. So that's where I need to be focusing on. Just taking out these guys as quickly as possible to start moving more and more of this flank around to the rest of these elite units. I've got breaking units here, which is not good. Hopefully these guys will kind of regain some morale in the back line here and move back into the fight. So we're going to fast forward a little bit, see what happens. General is now free to attack some more units in the back, so that's what he's going to do. And we've got these units trying to flank around, continue to harass these enemy units on the back. And then I basically move these missile units even further deeper into their lines to get some better angles into the backs of their infantry, which is what's happening here. So they're moving forward this way. Really good stuff. Got some more breaking units. The general's doing some really, really good work. I think the general, yeah, look at that. Look at that clock go up really quickly in the casualties on the left side there. So yeah, he's doing some good work. We've got this unit who's regained some morale, going to join the fight. This guy's in a bad state, but no, not anything to worry about, really. The main focus has been the general on this side. So the missile units are going heavily all in into attacking the general. The general is turning around to do some damage on that side as well. So he's coming around, which is a bit worrying. Now I've kept my general back, but I'm now committing him into this fight as well to try and catch the general off guard. That's what's happening. Meanwhile, this unit is retreating as well, which is really good. Let's fast forward a little bit here. I've got this unit flanking around the enemy heavy phalanx infantry here. And my general's going all in now. He's going straight into the fight against the enemy general, who's going to start breaking. There he goes. And yeah, so they've still got 3 really good infantry. I mean, this is a light melee infantry unit, so not that good. Nothing my kind of ranged infantry can't deal with. But yeah, so general is starting to retreat, and he's gone. He's gone, absolutely. Demolished, which is really good. So that frees up my general now to come in and start harassing the enemy in the back line. I'm not worried about that unit anymore. I'm just going to focus on taking out the rest of these Macedonian infantrymen. And there they go. They're starting to white up. Their morale's broken. They're retreating. And that's it. That's how you do it, guys. Take out that garrison army. Take out the main force by lots of heavy flanking. That's what you need to be doing. Not just with cavalry, with those infantry units, with missile units, and taking them out. All right, guys. So with that, we've defeated the large majority of the Macedonian army, as you can see, which means we should be able to secure the city pretty quickly. So I'm going to enslave the captives for that added income, and then in a little bit we're going to take the city and unite the province. Hopefully, there won't be any resistance, and we should get some nice bonuses from having the whole province as well. Get that edict going as well to get some more income.
Will you agree to trade?
Oh.
We have much your people.
Yes, why not? All right, excellent. So it's turn 7 here, and we have pretty much an ability to take the city. So guys, again, this is a pretty high casualty rate. I would recommend you you fight the battle again and for the city. There isn't much of them left, so you won't be able to, you know, have any trouble with it. But I would definitely recommend you you fight it. So I'm going to go on a defensive stance to not lose too many units here and auto-resolve, but you should fight it. I'm going to say that again. But yeah, so with that, we've got Pella. We've only lost that cav unit, which is actually fine. No worries at all. We're going to occupy the city. Wait. Why didn't it? Oh, there we go. Whew. All right, that was weird. Okay, yes, so we've got Pella. Excellent. And with that, I'm going to get rid of the military building thing in Apollonia. And once we have a bit more money, we're going to upgrade this settlement building to get the added garrison here, and yeah, be able to just defend the city a bit better against any of the kind of what am I saying here? The expeditionary forces of these Balkan tribes if they ever come against you. But yeah, so we've taken Pella, we've consolidated our foothold in Greece. I'm going to go for the tax harvesting edict here for the added bonus here. And I'm going to lower this tax level as well. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep it at the same level because this conquest mechanic here for public order is going to go down, which is totally fine. And now the focus needs to be Rome. Rome is going to knock on the door very soon, and probably actually in the next turn. We've got a decent kind of defensive force here in Taris, which should be fine. So that's going to be, yeah, that's essentially the focus here, guys. We've captured this province, and the way forward for you is you can do what you want, to be honest. I'm going to suggest that you go after Rome next, but you can absolutely go down towards Athens, take Athens and Sparta. You could even if you wanted, go north and take these tribes as well. It's totally up to you. But my recommendation from here on out is to go up against Rome. Take the fight to them. Take Cassentia, Beneventum, and then from Beneventum, go for a two-pronged attack against the Romans. It's very likely that the Etrurians will make some gains as well. So keep your eyes on that. But yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm recommending here, essentially. So in terms of Pella, now that you've taken the city, I'm going to recommend you get rid of some of these units. So let's get rid of some of the more expensive units here. This one, the mercenary unit as well. Maybe some of these missile units because we don't need them. Let's get rid of, you know what? Let's get rid of these guys as well. So we're leaving a nice force here that will defend it. But in its place, we're going to raise an army here in Apollonia. Got that in the city for the public order bonus. And we're going to recruit some units. So let's get them and yeah, let's get them. So we're going to start recruiting some units essentially to get a decently sized army, you know, maybe 10 units in total over towards Taris and attack this army because they're going to besiege Taris. And if they actually attack, I'll show you how to defend it. But if they don't, then we can use this army to just fight them off and defeat them and hopefully start going down towards Cassentia. So yeah, that's going to be the end of the turn here, guys. Do we have skill points to spend? Yes, we do. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get that empire maintenance, actually. That should be... Oh, actually, public order and tax rate. Yeah, let's do that first. All right. Yeah, so with that, we're going to move on in this campaign. All right, guys, so it's turn 10, the final turn in this video, and I'm here. I've skipped a few turns because I want to show you that now that we've consolidated this province in Greece, which is super important to do, I think, at the beginning of your campaign as Epirus, giving you that massive income, as you can see here, you can shift your focus to a new objective, and you have a few choices here. So you can go north to these Balkan tribes, or you can go south to Athens, Sparta. You could even go across the Aegean here into Anatolia if you wanted. I think that'll probably stretch you a little bit thin, in my opinion. So you can go south here, or you can go across towards Italy and really take the fight to Rome, which is my recommendation here, guys. Rome is fighting this two-front war with the Etrurians to their north, possibly even a three-front with Carthage, depending on what they do. Which is ideal for you to exploit that weakness. So you have to defend this city against them, obviously. And they're kind of focused on you. But with the Etrurians up north, they might shift their focus away, and you can really fight them off if you wanted. And that's what I would do, you know. So what I've done here is I've gotten rid of a couple of units in the Griffin's Grace to give me the funds to build up a new, smaller army here, a 9-unit army that I'll move across and attack this Roman army with. So the Romans will retreat, and that gives you a bit of wiggle room. So what I would do is I would move all the units in your army into the city and get rid of this commander again here and make sure everyone is within the city. The Romans will no doubt attack the city again, but it'll be a much easier fight to defend against if it's just one army. I think the second army will retreat back up towards Rome here. But if they don't and they attack the city head on, I'm not going to play it, but I need to tell you that the number one exploit you can use here is to place your pikemen at the doors of the city. So by that, what I mean is you have the gates covered with pikemen, but you also have the doors that lead down from the walls into the city, right? So the Romans are going to use their ladders to get up onto the walls, and then they're going to use the doors in the towers to get in. Now you can block those doors with your pikemen in phalanx formation to block those doors and basically use it as a choke point, a tiny little choke point for those troops to come through, and then you two absolutely obliterate. Like, they have no chance. Even as the Romans, they have no chance against you in that kind of defensive maneuver. You also have missile units as well. You have loads of missile units. 1, 2, 3, 4 units here. You've got 5 Greek archers in the city. That's 9 missile units you can use against them when they get up onto the walls, which is another really good exploit to use. So you have your archers and missile units in the city behind the pikemen, and you attack them as they get onto the walls. And then finally, guys, you have the elephants. And these elephants are used basically, in my opinion, to get out of the city and flank around them and attack whatever's left outside. The cavalry, they're archers. You can just get round right behind them and demolish them. That's what you want to use them for. You have the cav units as well that you can send out if you want, sally them forth and destroy them. But that's what I would do, guys. As Epirus, at this point in your campaign, focus on the Romans, destroy these 2 armies right away if you can, and then take Cosentia, get a second army going in Apollonia even, get them across, and then focus on Beneventum. Maybe the Etrurians will take out Ariminum or Rome, which is fine, but the more you can take from the Romans, the better. Get a good foothold in Italy, and then take the rest of those cities, and you're going to be golden. Like, Epirus, from this point onwards, it's a completely open, wide door for you to expand out in various ways. I'd probably go into Athens and Sparta, take out these factions here, some very rich lands here as well. Take out Knossos to consolidate this province as well. So with that, you'll have 1, 2, 3, and hopefully 4 up here as well. 4 provinces under your belt, a very, very big boon in your income. And you can even take the fight to Carthage from there, or expand out into Anatolia. Totally up to you. But that's what I would do. And these are my recommendations for your first 10 turns as Epirus. You're in a much better position now compared to where you started. So that's what I would do. And that's it, guys. That's the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a like and drop any thoughts at all, or questions in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this video and this guide into your first 10 turns as the faction. Let me know what faction you want to see next as well in the next video in the comment section below. And subscribe to see that next video, the next faction guide that will come up for DEI, and for more Total War videos. That's kind of what the bulk of my content is going to be about in this channel. And that's it. I hope you enjoy this, guys, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. And this is the Terminator. Thanks for watching.